What's good, fight fans? This is Ash's Corner. I'm going to remind you to stop by this channel right here. Stop by the liquor spot every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time to hear the ladies talk about boxing, MMA, and relationship talk. Now, I got to talk about this fight. Of course, Chris Colbert now has himself a fight in King Tug. He was supposed to fight Gamboa on July 3rd, and Gamboa, I believe, had a rib injury. Gamboa is past his time. You know what I'm saying? Past his prime time. So Chris Primetime Colbert is going to be fighting King Tug on Showtime for the WBC Super Featherweight Interim title. And this is a PBC card. This is a good fight, a better fight in my opinion than Gamboa. And yeah, I was going to watch the Gamboa fight just because I like Chris Colbert. But this fight right here is what's going to be is going to be a better fight in my opinion, because I believe King Tug is going to do more than Gamboa can do in that ring versus Chris Colbert. But yeah, I'm gonna go by. I'm gonna run down the specs real quick. King Tug is the guy that just fought. Well, not just fought, but his only loss came from Gary Russell. Gary Russell last fight was King Tug, but King Tug has been fighting ever since then. Um, his record is 12-1. He has 9 knockouts. He's fought for 74 rounds. He's 29 years old with a 69.23% knockout rating. He is 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. Now, he usually fights at 126, okay? That's where his loss came from, and that was a 12-round fight, and he lost by UD versus Gary Russell in February 2020. And then he came off of a win, but he's coming off of a win in September 2020 versus a guy named Breedy, a fighter named Breedy. Um, and that's his second undefeated fighter that he's fought in his career. And he'll be looking to take on his third versus Chris Colbert, but this fight is going to be at 130 pounds. And as far as King Tug record goes, he's never fought at this weight class. So this is, going to be a step up for him, of course, because it's a new weight class, and I believe Chris Colbert is going to give him all he wants. Now, Chris Colbert, on the other hand, has 15 wins and 0 losses. He has 6 knockouts. He fought for 93 rounds. His knockout percentage is 40%. He's 24 years old. He's 5'8" with a 71-inch reach. Even though this is his 16th fight, Chris Colbert has already fought 3 undefeated fighters on his record, okay? And he's coming off a very impressive win, in my opinion, where he hurt his hand and then picked up the pace. Usually when fighters hurt themselves, they hurt their fist, the fight gets lackluster and becomes very boring. A lot of holding, a lot of running, all of that stuff goes on. He hurt his fist, and I didn't know until he said it after the fight, and then I realized, like, yeah, he was kind of, but he still was using it. But the thing is that he stayed on the ropes. Well, not stayed, but he would go to the ropes and sit on the ropes and rope a dope him and counter. It looked good. It looked impressive. Regardless if he wasn't doing a lot in his eyes, it looked like he was doing a lot from the fans' perspective. He was very entertaining in that fight. It was a very impressive win, in my opinion. Now, he is the WBA interim champion. Um, he fought a very awkward and very quick, very fast Jezreel Corrales for that title. And that was Chris Colbert's 14th fight. He put himself against a good test. Well, I don't know. He didn't put himself against it, but he was against a good test. And that's how he got his interim title. And Jezreel Corrales, man, at 14 fights is very tough. Jezreel Corrales at 17 fights is tough. Jezreel Corrales, and who is, in my opinion, better than who is better than Shakur Stevenson's fights. His last 3 people he fought. His 14th fight, his 16th fight, Jezreel Corrales is harder to beat, in my opinion, because of his speed and he's truly awkward. Like, in my opinion, Chris Colbert is taking on better competition at 130 pounds than his counterparts. I believe he's a great fighter. He has a lot of dog in him. He looks very good in that ring. He's very pretty. He's very stylish. He's very slick, and he's very entertaining to watch. I gotta give it to him. Um, and I'm going to give him the win. I believe I believe Chris Colbert is going to stop King Tug. After King Tug fought Gary Russell, you said he had no power. I believe, during that fight, there was a lot of punches thrown. Both of their accuracies was garbage. Gary Russell's and King Tug's during that fight. It's a lot of punches thrown and only 1 or 2 landed out of 10. It seemed like the whole damn fight. But, Gary Russell, hands down, he won the fight. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, King Tug said he couldn't feel his power. I guarantee you he's not going to say that about Chris Colbert. I guarantee you he's not going to say that about Chris Colbert. He probably won't disrespect Chris Colbert or say anything bad after this fight about him at all. Okay? But I got Chris Colbert beating him, stopping him, probably in 8 rounds or less. Always like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.